Welcome back everyone to another video on World of Warship Legends. Today we're going to be talking about scoring and paying attention to what the score is and what you can do to help your team win. For this we have a domination game on straight. We're starting midway through the game, just kind of get an idea of how the end game can work and the consequences that you can have for surviving or dying during this situation. So to begin with this, we're going to have bring up the scoreboard here. So if you hit the select and look at the full game roster, it shows what you see here, and it's basically how many points that you get per minute when you own a cap, and then the consequences or rewards, depending on which side you're on, for killing the enemy team or for surviving. What the scoreboard is showing us here is that we get plus 5 points every 6 seconds that we own a cap. So in other words, that's 50 points per minute for owning a cap, and that is the scoring based on a 4 cap setup. If you do have 3 caps, it does change slightly. For losing allies, you lose 60 points for losing a battleship, 50 points for losing a cruiser, and 45 points for losing a destroyer. On the other end, if you kill the enemy, you will receive 40 points for killing a battleship, 35 points for killing a cruiser, and 30 points for killing a destroyer. So at this point, we just lost our other cruiser that's in the game. So we are currently down 530 to 710. This huge margin to make up. Most games you're playing, you're in this situation, you're going to be losing. What we're going to do first here is we're going to try to take out this other cruiser. Now, if we're looking at that, that will be plus 35 for us, but there will be minus 50. So a total of 85-point swing if we're able to kill this. Additionally, since we own 2 caps and we're contesting this one, the team is only accumulating points on 1 capture point. So that means they're only getting 50 points when they could be getting a potential of 100 per minute for owning 2 caps. So at this point, we need to make sure that we continue to contest this. That means we are still accumulating points on the 2 that we hold, A and D, and we're preventing them from accumulating any points on B, but they are still accumulating points on C. We see that we're still spotted at this point. We know there's a destroyer out here somewhere. Our indicator says there's one ship aiming at us, and what we want to do now is just move a little bit further north and get some distance between us and the rest of the ships. Right there, we just got a message that said that they are starting to take the D cap. So at this point, both teams are accumulating the same amount of points per minute. That is right up until that point. Once I finish that cap, and once again we are accumulating points on 2 caps, enemy team is accumulating point on only 1 cap, and since the other is in the process of being capped, neither team is getting points for that. So we're heading back south now, because at this point we need big point swings. The only way to make that happen is if we're able to get kills. We see once again we're being aimed at, and we see the Nassau pop up. Now this ship is a huge threat to our health. We immediately want to start turning and putting some distance between us and him. The Japanese cruisers especially are great at kiting away from other ships. They are very hard to hit, so that's what we want to get into position for this. Right there, the Nassau does get the Confederate medal, so you can tell he's definitely been doling out some damage so far this game. That normally tells us that it's a pretty good player. Let's go ahead and make sure we give him a little bit extra space. He does drop spot behind the island. We do have torpedoes loaded at this point, so we want to go ahead and launch some torpedoes right there into that narrow gap between the 2 islands, and hoping we'll get lucky. Again, at this point, the only way for us to win is to get some kills, because the other team were accumulating points at the same rate since they have finished the D cap. Right here, Nassau pops up. Again, we want to keep just kiting away from him, make the engagement last a little bit longer. That will favor us. Fire and HE, try to get fires going. Our hope is that he burns a damage con at this point, and then if we get lucky and hit him with one of these torpedoes, perhaps we get him flooding. The indicator is now telling us that we have 2 ships aiming at us. We're going to continue kiting away. Go ahead and keep firing HE at the Nassau, keep burning them down. At this point, the enemy destroyer probably should have been getting on the B cap and locking that up, prevent us from getting points. Here we see the Hawkins pop up. He's such low health. He is the easy target, so we're going to go ahead and start shooting at him. Unfortunately for him, he runs into a torpedo and dies. And then all of a sudden we're up on points. Um, Ultimately, we do go on to win this game. I think it's important to note, though, this was a complete throw by the enemy team. If the Hawkins had gone around and tried to capture A, or just stayed alive at that point, it would have been an easy win for them. The key point is pay attention to your health, pay attention to the score, know what the impact that you have on the game, and once you start paying attention to those, you'll see your win rate start to climb. If you have any questions or concerns, put them in the comments down below. We'll have some more videos coming at you shortly. Hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time.